I'm really sorry that it's not possible to be with you in person in Mayfield for Remembrance Sunday, but I'm glad to have this opportunity to share a message with you and to assure you of prayers and good wishes from the Bishop's Chapel here in Chichester. One of the important things about the chapel is that across the centuries it has been the place where prayer for the life of this diocese has been offered in all kinds of situations, in plague and pandemic, in war and in times of fear and conflict, in times of political uncertainty and doubt, but also in times of rejoicing and celebration. And one of the benefits for us is that we have around us here the life and work of the Prebendal School. And schools, of course, are generally noisy, busy, exciting, bustling places. For a short time I worked as a teacher in a school in Dorset, and there was one part of the school which insisted on silence. It was the place where the names were inscribed on a staircase of former pupils who had fallen in war, the First World War and the Second World War. And there was a sense of hushed awe and respect. And whenever we went up those stairs, then we were always silent. Silence is a language of its own. It's a language that crosses the boundaries of ordinary human language. It's a language which crosses the boundaries of time. It's a language which connects us in the imagination with worlds beyond our own. It's the language which connects us with heaven. The 2-minute silence that is characteristic of our Remembrance Day observations is a powerful use of this language, perhaps the more powerful in our own day, because silence is so unfamiliar to so many of us. The noise of media communication, the ability to have something in our ear which gives us constant entertainment of one form or another. These are modern characteristics, and yet silence is a language which transcends them all. Silence is the language with which we approach God. Silence is the language in which those things like grief and fear, which words often are inadequate to convey, silence is the language with which we communicate them. Silence, too, can be the language of love, the rapture of love one for another, the silence of a parent who looks at a newborn child, the silence of those who have grown old together in love and for whom nothing needs to be said. Our silence at Remembrance Tide is the powerful use of this language. It enfolds human conflict. It enfolds all the mystery of fear, of anger, of revenge. It enfolds the failures of political ambition which end in conflict and which cause death and destruction. And as we undertake this silence today, let us enfold in it the life of our nation now. Let us enfold in it the life of those who fear because of the fresh threats of the pandemic. Let us enfold in it those who fear for loved ones. Let us enfold in this silence the stranger in our midst, those who are asylum seekers and refugees from conflict and fear in other parts of the world. Let us enfold in it the deep fear and uncertainty of young people about what the future holds for them. And let us enfold in this silence the loneliness of those who are locked into homes and who do not see the friends and neighbours that sustain their life. And in this silence, God speaks to us. This is the silence out of which the word breaks. The word breaks as the cry from a newborn child, the Christ child. It is the cry of love, the cry which seeks to share in our silence the experience of being human and to open up in it a new dimension, the dimension of access to heaven, of triumph over death, the dimension which enables us to speak. And what is it that we say when we learn to speak through this silence? This is the silence out of which we learn to pray. It's the silence which is broken by those powerful words, "Our Father, who art in heaven." Words which go on to pray for the coming of the kingdom. Characteristic of our Remembrance Day observation is also the use of familiar words, which are also a form of prayer. The Kohima words, you'll remember, "For your tomorrow we gave our today." Jesus Christ gives us a future. Jesus Christ, who lives in our today, opens up a tomorrow which can be filled with peace, with hope, with joy, and with love. And as we celebrate this Remembrance Sunday, let us ask that his presence with us will commit us to a future in which we seek, through the silence of the knowledge of God, to be a more peaceful people, to be a more generous people, to be a people more attentive to the needs of others and of each other, to be a people who are more attentive to our care of the earth and the environment and the use of its resources and the elimination of needless waste. May our Remembrance Day silence be a point not only of recollection, but also of renewal. And out of our silence, let new depths of prayer and praise and hope open up among us. May God bless you and keep you in his love.